Ezprint is a package for Concrete 5.7 and newer that allows you to make nearly any area on a page printable. The package comes with a couple things. One is that it comes with a block for creating a simple article that's printable, such as what you see here. It also comes with some custom templates for several of the core blocks. For example, down here, this is a printable frequently asked questions block, and there's also one for the core content block, as well as an image and a couple others that I'll show you here in a minute. And also, you could wrap multiple blocks to be printable as well, which I'll show you later. First, let's take a look at how the core block works. Since I already have this added, we'll just edit this. One thing that the package comes with is something called print utility classes. So there's different things that you can do using that simply by applying some classes to certain HTML tags that will make it format in a certain way. So I'll show you, some examples of what you can do with that. So in edit mode here, this is what the Ezprint block looks like. It's basically just an article thing. It's kind of like a microblog sort of thing that's basically formatted specifically for being printable. So you enter in your title, author. Basically, you can put just any kind of text there, and you can select a date and time that it was published. You can do this either in the past or future or present, whatever you want to do there, and you can select a template or a format for the date, a cover image that you can select that. I recommend going with maybe like a landscape kind of a layout, like for example maybe a 900 by 300 or something like that. It's responsive, by the way, so it'll automatically fit anywhere you put it. As for the text, you can put anything you want in here. As for the content, and now something that comes with here, if you go to the help tab here, I have some links to the documentation pages that explain a few things. So something you might want to refer to frequently here is the print utility classes page, which links here. And as you can see, there's several things that it has built in as far as like being able to style things in a certain way. And to do that, you would need to edit the HTML for the content. So let's take a look at the HTML content here. This was just basically copied and pasted from an article that I wrote for a magazine. As you can see, it just uses some real basic, paragraph tags and stuff like that. But let's say we want to format it in certain ways, and in some cases you can use this. Like for example, maybe we might want to make it justified, but however, the editor doesn't include certain CSS and styling classes that you might want to apply. For example, like if you want to indent this, it moves that whole paragraph over. However, let's say for example you want to indent only the first line on this. So to do that, we would want to go up here. And then what we're going to want to do is apply a class. Now I'll show you which one we need to get for that to make it indent. So underneath typography on here, you can just simply say indent. What that does is it moves it in, the first line in, by 1 centimeter, which is a pretty common size, especially for printing. So we'll indent that, and then we can just save that, see how it looks. And as you can see here, what that did was it moves the paragraph in a little bit. And so let's say there's some other things we can do, some interesting things here. So for example, one thing that you can do is actually turn your paragraph into multiple columns, for example. So let's say we want to turn that maybe into just a 2-column thing here. We can copy and paste that in. It would just say double col. So go back into the HTML, and then we can apply multiple classes here. So let's say, so now this should be indented with 2 columns. So as you can see, it's kind of hard to tell right now, but there are actually 2 columns here now, as you can sort of tell. But if you want to add more padding, you can actually do that too. So let's say we want to add maybe some padding here. Let's see. Let's say we want to add, I don't know, 30 pixels of padding in between each column. So well, you can say pad 30, and that will add some padding in there. So as you can see from here, it spaced it out a little bit more there. So this is useful, especially if you want to make something that kind of feels like a magazine that's also like printable. So let's go ahead and publish this out and take a look at how it looks when you actually try to print it. So now, as you can see, there are now 2 columns here spaced with roughly 30 pixels there, for a 2-column layout deal. Now you could actually do that same thing with maybe like a div tag and wrap multiple columns, especially if you have a real long paragraph or something, or even multiple paragraphs. So there's different ways you could actually do that, especially if you're familiar with how HTML works. And I can provide support on that too. If you have any questions, I can help you out with that. And I'll try to get back to most responses pretty quickly, within a few days to a week or so tops, as best I can. So that, as you can see here, there are several things here. If you look through here, there's several things that you can do. They can you can apply multiple classes to the same paragraph, as I showed you, and I'll try and provide some code examples of what can be done here. So if you apply these different classes to, say, maybe the paragraph tag or div or even the h tags, that will make certain things lay out. Now another class here that I should point out, there's something called print only, where what that does is it hides certain content from being published. So let's say, for example, we've written an article, and let's say we want to have maybe a nice like a link to maybe a certain website or some other content that we don't want to have shown on the actual site, but we do want to have actually printed out. So I'll show you real quick how one way you can do that. So we're going to go back to our content and edit that. So let's first create the actual content. So let's say we'll create a new paragraph here. Let's just, for example here, let's say written by or published by Concrete5 Labs. Let's say we want to, I don't know, maybe a link to something. And let's go back down there. Now we have this is a simple paragraph. Now we don't want to show this on the actual front end. Now what's going to happen is when we apply this class, we got to go into our HTML thing again. And as you can see down here, now there's one that I wrote that I showed you earlier, which is this thing here. What you do is you apply this class print only to that. So let's remove that old one here. Print dash only, and then let's say we want to get out of the HTML. Now if we go down here, you'll see that that paragraph that we added is no longer there, right? But it's simply invisible. It's not gone, it's just hidden. So we're going to save this, and then what we want to do is publish. Then we'll see how that works to make sure that our content, our hidden content, is going to show up on the actual printed page. And as you can see, it is down here. Now, if you put a link to something, it'll just simply underline it. So if you put a link to something, you might want to put the full URL, just as a hint there. Okay, so let's take a quick look at how some of the core blocks here that are supported. One is the core image block. That it's the template for this simply allows you to make a image printable at the press of a button. So let's choose an image. Let's just go with that first one here. And I'm not going to enter anything in here for this demo. Now what you got to do is you need to apply the custom template. So make sure you select Ezprint, save, and then it adds this print bar thing here. Now, by the way, one thing I should show you here is that you can actually hide these borders simply by applying another class around the block. So let's say we don't want those borders there. What we're going to do is go back to Design Custom Template, and then we need to apply the class that's necessary for that. And what we want to do, you can reference that here on the How-Tos and Facts page. There's a class called Ezprint No Border, and what that does is it simply strips that border from the. Make sure this is selected. It strips the that border thing from there. If you just want the button only. So we're going to publish. Okay, so then now this image will be very easy to print out. So as you can see, it just it simply shows the image, and it will automatically always go 100% of the width of the page. So, but if now if you have one that's even smaller, it goes to a maximum of 100th width. So if it's a real small image, it'll likely show in the actual size. So another couple core blocks here that are included with the template is the file block, this one. So we're going to add, let's say we want to pick a file. Now you can choose literally any file for this, and what this template does for this one is that it will simply show the information for it. And so even if you picked an image, let's say we'll just pick this one here as we did before, oops, we have to put a link on here. You do have to, it will display the link. So let's say we want to put web design image, let's say, and now this is the default view for it. So when we, if I can get to it, we want to apply the custom template, and it will render it quite differently from this. Ezprint, save, and then as you can see, it adds our little text that we added there, and then it gives a nice download button or the print button. The download button just simply does the same thing that the plain link would do. So however, the print looks like this. Yeah, as you can see, it adds or displays the information. So in the file manager, I didn't change the title, but you can customize that. So through the file manager, and I did not add any description, so it doesn't display one on here in this case. But it shows the full URL for where it's actually located, and the size, and the upload date. And so that's the file image. Another one that Ezprint supports is the testimonial block. And this one, let's see. There's several things that you can choose here. Let's say we'll put. This is from the one of my other demos here. Let's just put some filler text in here. Text is put something in there for now. Okay, and then well, again, we want to choose the custom template, Ezprint. Now this apparently depends on the theme as far as the styling, so that's kind of, yeah, this just uses the default layout as far as the how it actually looks, but then it just simply adds the print button after it. So this how it actually looks, it might vary from theme to theme. So when it actually gets rendered out, though, it does fill out the whole image, or the whole width area, and then it will mostly it will look like this. What it does is it has a nice rounded border on the print. Then it floats the image over here, and then all the text and all the other content shows up over here. And that's for the testimonial. Another one here is the fax block, which actually I've shown you down here, come to think of it. This one here, it's just you just simply enter in the frequently asked questions for this block, and then you do the same as you, before. You just simply select the template, which is the Ezprint one here, and then there's also one that's for the core content block as well. So you can put anything in there, and it should make that printable. So you have to apply the custom template, and again, now if we want to maybe not display the border here, we can change that. And then it just makes that area, without the borders on there. So if you need, you can change certain aspects of of how that looks, editing by editing the CSS file that the package comes with, which is located in the CSS directory of the root of the package. So Ezprint makes it pretty easy to print certain areas off. I'll go ahead and drop a couple of these here. Now I'll show you how you can make a whole area printable. And what you do is probably the best way that I can think of to do this would actually be to use a stack. So what we'll want to do is we're going to go to our stacks and blocks, and then we're going to create a new printable stack. So we're just going to name something here. Printable stack, and then we're going to add maybe a couple blocks here. Let's say maybe just a regular content block on the first block. We'll add another one, maybe just an image or something, or perhaps maybe even a page title. In this case, I guess it looks like it prints a stack, so we'll display that. And I guess we'll move that up here at the top. We'll go ahead and add an image. So we've got a couple of blocks in our thing here. Now what we want to do is make these 3 blocks printable. Okay, so what we want to do is we're going to add 2 HTML blocks. There's going to be one before and then one after. We're going to add our first one first. Now we don't have to actually put anything in here. So we'll say, but we should, just for the sake of organization and being able to know what's what on here. So we'll say start print area. You can put whatever you want in there, because this is not going to actually be displayed or anything. This is just going to, because what we're going to do next here is we need to select a custom template, which doesn't really display anything really. We're going to select what we want to do, since this is going to be the first one, we want to select the Ezprint area open. Now this shows as begin printable area. So what we want to do is move this up to the top. And then now we need to add a closing one too to make the area actually printable. Otherwise it's going to end up with just an open tag, and it's going to mess up how your page looks. So make sure you add the closing one too. So make sure you select Ezprint area close. Okay, so now we have a printable area. We need to approve the changes here. Okay, so it looks like that's all good. So what we want now, we want to actually display this on the front end. So let's go ahead and display our stack here. Printable stack. Okay, so now we want to print this or publish this. Okay, so now just that area should be printable. This stack that we just added. Let's say we want to print our stack. As you can see, it does. It shows it in the order that we created it. So if you want to do something custom, custom printable area, that's how you would do it. So if you have any questions about how about Ezprint, if you need any help or support,